We need to complete our business by 6 o'clock, and I believe that we need a motion to continue the business. Is it by 7? Yes. We should probably motion to continue business beyond what the rules.
That was convention rules. We haven't adopted.
We're not under rules yet.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we adopt the minority report of the Rules Committee.
I second.
Okay, there is a motion to adopt the minority rules report as the rules of this convention, and it has been seconded.
I have a motion to amend the minority report to ensure that there's no 6 o'clock cutoff, that we have sufficient time to carry out all business as we need to.
So remove the time cutoff.
Yes.
I'll second the motion to amend.
Order, doesn't that put too many motions at once?
No, it's an amendment.
Seconding a motion to amend the minority report of the Rules Committee to remove all references to time deadlines.
Okay, but what I mean is, are we not out of order by adopting the minority report in full instead of line by line?
To amend it.
There's an amendment before adoption.
We
haven't adopted. First, the motion is being amended.
First, we will have to have a vote on the amendment and then a vote on the main motion.
Okay. Actually, the chair would rule that there's a live motion on the floor that's been seconded and then duly amended. And now the question before you is whether or not this delegation should accept the minority rules report as amended to remove any references to time deadlines.
It hasn't been amended yet. There's a motion to amend. So what needs to happen? There needs to be
the motion is to amend the minority report to remove the time deadline.
Okay, that's first.
Okay, there's a motion before you to adopt the minority rules report. Is there any debate?
The motion is to amend.
The current motion is to amend the minority report.
I'm sorry, the motion is to amend the minority rules report to remove any references to time restrictions or deadlines.
Second.
Okay, saying a second. Is there any debate or discussion on that?
Point of information.
Point of information?
Is it legal to amend something that has not been adopted by the
Yes, that's how you have to do it.
This is what you do.
Okay. Seeing no other debate, the question before you is, it has been moved to amend the minority rules report to remove any references to time deadlines. Is there a second?
Do I need to submit
State your point.
I mean, that must be his.
We have a copy.
Guys,
We have a copy.
point of order.
It's a long.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
I'm delirious.
Seeing none.
On the main motion.
It's
The
delirious.
main motion is to adopt the minority report as amended.
There is a motion before us to adopt the minority reports as the rules of this convention. Second. As amended.
As amended.
Will there be debate?
Will there be any debate? Saying none.
Mr. Chairman.
The question before you. I'm sorry, point of order.
Do we not have to turn down the rules as written before we can adopt the minority report?
No rules are in
Has to be
effect.
dealt with first.
The minority report's always taken first.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion before you, which is to adopt the minority rules report as the rules of the convention, please signify by saying, as amended, please signify by saying aye. Aye! All those opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Point of information.
Point of information.
Okay, first order of business.
I nominate Jake Peters as permanent chairman.
Second. There's a motion on the floor to elect a permanent convention chairman, and it has been seconded to nominate Jake Peters. Is there any other nominations? Hearing none. All those in favor of electing Jake Peters, please signify by saying aye. Aye! All those opposed? Hearing none. Jake Peters is duly elected. Order of business. I mean, I don't have the agenda that they had, but
Then it was based on. Well, no, it's not on there because it was approved by the executive committee. No, it isn't.
No, the first item of business
Was National
election of
Committee.
National Committee.
Oh. Yeah. We like this.
12, okay. Order of business, permanent role type.
Yeah, it's not.
Election of party officials.
Yeah, election party officials.
Order.
hold on, I'm trying to hear the point. Order, please, quiet.
I said the minority report allowing for competitive slates having been adopted. May I move that we now take a straight up roll call vote on the executive committee slate versus the conservative values slate?
I would rule that out of order based on the order of business that's already been adopted by the executive committee, which we must recognize.
Election of party officials.
The next item of business that we are under right now is the election of party officials. National committee man will be taken first. This vote must be taken by a roll call vote. Is there anybody here that is in need of a ballot?
Point of information? If the opponent was...
We have a point of information right now.
He is nominated. He can be nominated, but he doesn't have to. If nobody nominates him, he's not nominated.
Thank you.
Point of order?
If there's just one, this might be for later. Can a roll call vote be hands? Do we have to do paper?
It has to be paper.
It does not have to be paper. Your county delegation leader must report when announced or when called for.
By ballot.
They must announce.
It must be by ballot.
Okay, it must be by ballot, but then it must be announced according to these rules what their total vote is.
If the
your
vote
point?
is passed by acclamation, it's roll call required.
I'm sorry.
Under party rules.
One nominee be acclamated.
That's possible. Let me consult with the chair.
Oh, no, that's true.
If we end up with only one candidate, we can have motion to acclamation, and we don't have to have the roll call.
Under state party rules.
Okay, the answer to your point of information would be, let me find it here.
Should we just nominate one guy? But we have to
Is this theirs?
the call of the...
Hold on. Well, I gotta go back to our rules. Okay, my ruling would be that pursuant to the rules we've adopted, voting for candidates shall be by roll call ballot vote pursuant to Section 4 of these rules, except that unopposed candidates may be elected by voice vote. So at this point, I would like to take nominations for National Committee Man.
I nominate Richard Engle.
As a point of order, I would suggest that only candidates who presented their willingness to be nominated to the convention secretary are eligible to be nominated, and I assert that I did indeed present my willingness to be nominated to the convention secretary.
I would rule against your point of order, Richard, because we've struck that requirement in the Minority Rules report.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Richard Engle for national...
Okay, Richard Engle has been nominated. Duly seconded.
Toby Pedford nominates.
And there's multiple seconds. Are there any discussion or debate?
Who is
Well,
who
there might be another person.
Any other nominations? Seeing no other nominations for National Committee Man, unless there's objection, do you have any other nominations?
Point of order.
Point of order, please state your order.
Is there a nominating speech? Or just a national statement?
Each nominee.
Waive the opportunity to make a nominating speech, having previously made a perfectly fine speech.
There is a question before you, and it has been duly seconded. And this will be a voice vote on the election of the National Committee Man. With Chair recognizing only one nominee, then we will take this voice vote. All those in favor of Richard Engle as National Committee Man, please say aye. Aye! All those opposed? Seeing none. As the next order of business, move to the election of the National Committee Woman. Order.
Cheryl.
Point of order, please state your point. Order. Oh, cool. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Wendy Wright as National Committee Woman.
Okay, we have a nomination for Wendy Wright as National Committee Woman. Are there any others?
I'd like to nominate Cheryl Williams. Cheryl Williams.
We have Toby Pedford nominated.
Cheryl Williams.
Second, Cheryl Williams. This was Wright. Sorry.
Wendy Wright.
Wendy Wright.
And then
Toby Pedford. And the second one Williams.
and Trina nominates Cheryl Williams.
Wendy Wright has
State your point. Yes.
Cheryl withdraws.
That would be in order. Yes. Okay, right now we have two. Huh?
Cheryl withdraws.
Cheryl has withdrawn her
No,
nomination.
Nathan said
And Wendy
Cheryl.
Wright has withdrawn her nominations, leaving us with no nominations.
Sandra Crosdell?
Hold on. Order. What's that? Can you please restate?
What's the lady's name?
Move that, sir.
Carolyn McLarty.
Nominate Carolyn.
Okay, we have a nomination for Karen McLarty by
Point information.
Clint Dake.
Second.
We have multiple seconds.
I'd like to nominate Sandra Crosno.
We have a nomination from Richard Engle for Sandra Crosno.
Can I make a point of information, Mr. Chairman?
Carolyn McLarty by Mr. Dake. What was your first name, Mr. Dake? Clint?
Was there a second? That's what I'm saying.
Yes, there was multiple seconds.
Can I make
Recognized
a
by the
point of
chair.
information, Mr. Chairman? Anyone nominating the National Committee woman needs to understand that taking on this nomination, they are responsible for covering the funds for what they are undertaking.
Okay, the point of information was to ask if the delegation understands that the National Committee woman position requires a big time and financial commitment, and just make sure that anybody nominated understands that.
What point of information?
Sandra withdraws.
Sandy withdraws.
Point of information.
Come on, you gotta have something.
Sandy withdraws.
Nobody's got money.
Ryan. Yes, sir.
But she's on the
At this point, the only nomination that has not been withdrawn is Carolyn McLarty.
Okay, I want to nominate
Point of information?
Beach, K Beach.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, order. I've
Yeah,
got,
Kate
I've got
can't
one person
fly.
here,
She's a
nomination.
delegate.
Can't fly.
Okay, I mean, I withdraw my nomination.
We have a withdrawn.
Point of information?
We have a point of information here.
Is it correct that if we have 2 nominations, we have to take a ballot vote?
Yes, that's correct.
Only if we have 2 nominations, at this point we only have 1.
If we have one, then we can vote and move on?
That is
Point of
correct.
information.
Yeah, do it.
Nominated has to be able to meet the obligations of this office.
Correct.
That means they have to be willing to travel.
That's correct.
And there's a lot of cost involved. So
Hold on, let me deal with her first. Okay.
that you will meet that obligation.
Okay.
That's the point I'm trying to make. It's not a normal cost. This is all year long.
Chair
Carolyn
recognizes Brady.
Carolyn McLarty has expressed via many outreaches through email and paper that her intention to run for National Committee woman. So she would be a valid candidate to be nominated here, and I would suggest that this convention would be looked upon very well were it to elect Carolyn McLarty.